I'm missing a freaking 15R, and then this trade we're going to break down. Oh my god. This trade would have been insane. Fucking 15R. Crazy. Hey, what's up everybody? Matt Corvo coming at you live from Montreal, Canada. Hope you're doing great. Welcome back to a new video. Just to give you a little bit of background about myself, I've been trading for 5 years. The first 4 years I was trading Forex, CFDs, indicators, smart money concepts, inner circle trader, and I was extremely frustrated and disappointed with my trading results. Lost a shit ton of money. And at the beginning of 2025, I discovered Orderflow and I made the transition from CFDs to futures, which are regulated and centralized at the CME, the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, and it's a much more professional arena. And yes, I'm basically documenting my order flow and volume analysis learning journey, and I have seen a great improvement in my trading. However, I'm not quite there yet. I wouldn't say I'm profitable, I would say I'm break even, and I am still in a testing phase, testing a lot of order flow tools. Some I don't find that useful, some I just couldn't trade without, and basically I use the volume profile levels, I use the VWAP deviations, I use a heat map, and I use footprint for confirmation and deltas. And I would basically never go back to trading pure price action. I would never go back to Forex. Once you discover order flow, there's no going back. I would not be able to trade without it. I'd be completely blind. Obviously, it's not that simple. It's not that easy. There's a lot to learn. It's quite complicated sometimes. It's tricky. There's a lot of information. It takes quite a period to get used to it, to learn it, to acquire your experience. So I'm really in that period right now. It's probably my 6th month where I started at the beginning of the year, but then I got distracted from trading a few months, and now I'm really testing it, forward testing it with a practice account and logging all my trades. So basically today, as always, I'd like to do my journaling session, recording my screen and talking over it, and going over all the things I learned and studying the market, really studying the points of reversal that we had today on ES, and basically just look at the footprint and look at the deltas, what happened at those points of reversal. So that is exactly what I want to do with you guys today. All right, so we are Friday, October 31st. We are Halloween, and I would just like to walk you through TradeZilla, which is the journaling software I use. As you can see here, those are my results, but it's a testing phase, okay? I'm still trying order flow tools, getting used to them. I'm not the best yet. I will be the best though. The blue ones are break even. Today I had a red day, but I would say one loss was totally valid. The other one was And yeah, so those are my results. I'm doing that video so that it will be fun to look back in 3 months and 6 months and eventually have results like those. Where is it? Yeah, like fucking Carmine Rosado. Those one day are going to be my results. Those are going to be my results one day. I guarantee you. I'm not doing trading to earn 5,000 a month or 10,000 a month. I'm here to earn multiple 6 digits. Multiple 6 digits. And eventually $1 million a month. This is why I'm doing trading. I'm here for abundance. I'm here for prosperity. I'm here for fucking glory. I'm not here to earn 10K a month. So when the dream is really big, really the facts don't matter. I don't care if I have to struggle another 3 months or another 6 months for that matter. I just don't care because I'm going for such a big goal with trading that like nothing is going to stop me. Perfect, everybody. So let's get going here. So every day before my trading session, I start my day on TradeZilla and I do something called my pre-market game plan, which is basically 30 minutes that I take and I check what high impact news we might have today, and then I want to identify the market condition. Are we consolidating, compressed, or are we trending? And then I want to identify my directional bias, looking at those time frames, and then also looking at the volume profile levels, and also lastly, the most important, I want to identify key levels for the session to play from. Okay, for example, at that certain level, I'm looking for shorts. At that certain level, I'm looking for buys. So just taking that 30 minutes before my trading just gets me in a way more relaxed state where I'm chill and I'm not like jumping on the chart and oh this. Absolutely fucking not. So you really want to become as professional as possible. Just making the transition from CFDs to futures, more professional. Looking at order flow, more professional. And then, like Omar Ashraf says, journaling, more professional, and you have a pre-market game plan. And then at the end, this is what I'm going to do at the end. I'm going to do a post-market analysis and end of day recap. Okay? So let's get going here. Today, as I said, Friday, October 31st. What happened today on ES on the E-mini futures? Right, today it said core CPI tentative. Don't know what that means. I should do some research about it. Okay, yeah, I said we're compressed, but we got out of that range. Like this was clearly a compression here, a consolidation, but we got out of here. And I said we might start trending. Here, looking at the daily, price did exactly what I expected it would yesterday. Well, look at that yesterday. That is yesterday I took those notes. Look. I said daily still bullish. PDH got taken out. Hoping to see that gap and those previous daily lows get taken out. So I expected price to take out those daily lows and fill that gap. So that was yesterday, Thursday. And look at today. Price did exactly that. Came to fill that gap. Take those previous daily lows. And then I think our higher low is in place. And I think we will continue higher. I believed we took the liquidity out and we filled enough of the gap. And because we are in an uptrend with higher highs and higher lows, I expected this to be our higher low in place and then continue higher to break this higher high. And then this was on the 15-minute. I said playing the prediction game is stupid. We're not here to predict anything. We're clearly here to react. Anything can happen, but I said I'm short-term bearish. I want to take out those lows here. So remember we had an uptrend, downtrend, and now this is the downtrend I'm talking about. Lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, and then this lower high got broken. So I'm expecting a higher low here, correct? But you know, each high here is a reaction point, and then eventually taking out this one. Perfect. So I said, as for the volume profiles, it's interesting. We are like semi-bullish. It wasn't super clear because price was maintaining itself above the previous day point of control. Here somehow price was just in this whole range, between the previous day POC and the previous day value area high. Okay. And I said price might need to grab more liquidity to fuel its move higher. So coming down here, take this out, then to continue higher. And turns out I was really wrong for today. Okay, oh yeah, I was so angry because I woke up at like 7:30 and then I do a walk in the morning, I prepare my breakfast, etc. And I just noticed, man, I cannot wake up. I was about to say so late at 7:30, but I need to be up at fucking 6:57. Because at 8:20, I missed that beautiful sell. Imagine if I had caught this fucking move. Oh my god. There was a beautiful sell here, which I completely missed at 8:20, like I said. It would have been crazy, but here would have been quite scary. Not gonna lie. This would have been really shitty to be through. But then it just melted. That would have been a massive runner. We're gonna study what happened on the footprints here at 8:15, but wow, that would have been crazy. Targeting previous daily low. Anyway, it's just unacceptable. I need to be on the charts at freaking 8 and do my pre-market game plan like even 7:50. Okay, let's continue here. Yeah, okay, so we're gonna study that. It was quite messy. Yeah, no reversal is simple and easy. Just get out of your mind. Really, sometimes I'm in there just wishing trading would be easier. But the reality is you must wish you were better. And it's not something you wish for truly. You are you don't wish. You stop wishing in life. You're freaking putting in the fucking work, putting in the fucking hours, taking trades, journaling, recording yourself over, studying. That's how you're going to get better with time and experience. And that's it. That's it, basically. Yeah, it was my famous imbalance from yesterday. Yesterday, let me come really quickly here. Let me come quickly. I had this super nice imbalance, and price came super close, but didn't touch it, and I wanted to take a sell from here. Right, you see here? Right here. It was the same imbalance today that did this sell. Okay, so that was my first scenario for today. So I was bullish, right? I really thought our high or low was in place. I was bullish. My directional bias was bullish. Here, I really expected price to come at, I had multiple levels here. I had the Asian low, the London's low, the previous day point of control. Here I had 150 buy limit orders on the bid on Bookmap. I had all of those levels here, those 4 levels, so I said for sure price is coming here and it's going to give me a reversal. Now, I was right, price did come here and gave a massive bullish reaction, but it was just a bullish reaction to continue down. And that's where I get caught sometimes. I get trapped. I get tricked. Like for me, we were super bullish. We were bullish, and turns out we were bearish for the whole day. So basically, man, realistically, should I have been like this thing was selling, to be honest. It was, this is where I got fucked. It was looking at the freaking daily, at the 4 hour. It's just the freaking market structure. It always depends. Where do you start looking from and how much do you zoom in or zoom out? Okay. God damn it. Anyway, yeah, looking at it, I say, yeah, fuck, we were actually bearish. Shit. Anyway, let's continue here. So that's why I like to review my stuff. I'm starting noticing stuff, Matt. Like, don't marry your bias. I did not marry my bias. I took trades I wanted to take. So this whole area, I wanted to look for buys. I wanted to look for longs, and basically on the prints, I was looking for my confirmation, which would be aggressive sellers getting absorbed by passive buyers, and then aggressive buyers to show up. Okay? And I always try to create 2 scenarios. And I said this one is low probability. Anyway, it did not happen. Okay. Price at cash open gave a reaction at London's low. It looks like a fake out. The prints are not too convincing. Okay, so at what time was that? This was at 9:30, 9:35. Let's have a look. All right, so studying the footprint, why did this reversal never happen? Let's have a look on the prints. The prints are really the ones that are gonna, you have your levels and you try to add them as confluence, but that's when you jump on the prints to look at the deltas, okay? For a confirmation on whether we're gonna have a reversal or the level is just gonna get broken through. And it's always interesting to study. So why did this one fail? Here we have super negative numbers, okay? I love those numbers, super negative. Minus 534, same here. When the min and the final delta are almost the same, it's looking super bearish, but then you had this huge wick to the downside. So already you're asking yourself a question, damn, why do we have such negative numbers? First, we want to see a very bearish candle after as a follow through that no reversal is happening, but why do we have such a big wick here? It's meaning a lot of passive buyers are absorbing it. Okay, and after, if you look, I love this candle, I love it, but there's a problem with it, and that's why I'm saying no freaking reversal is simple and easy. It's always somehow complicated, and you need time and experience to learn it. But literally the candle goes from, so not only do you not have a follow through of the very bearish numbers, you have this super green candle after. Okay, it goes from minus 217 to 300. So that's a big change. But if you look at this candle, there's a big problem with it. What do you think it is? This big fucking wick on the upside. And what do you have here? Trap buyers, and you have zeros. So me, I'm trying to wait always for a second candle to enter. And when I would have seen this candle here, just trap buyers here, zeros on the top, it would have been like a sign, I don't like it too much. I'm not sure I would have entered. Plus, I was looking for a buy way lower. Okay. So this eventually failed. Okay. It did give a reaction. But I did not get trapped. Now, lower is where I had 2 losses. And I would say the first one, maybe I was kind of quick on the trigger. Sometimes you do need to be quick on the trigger, but was it a bad loss or a good loss? I would not be able to tell you. So I said, I don't want to be catching a falling knife, but I'm looking for sellers to get absorbed. I'm looking for my setup. I know what I'm looking for and I'm ready. I got my finger on the trigger. You see, this is here. This is when I was taking a screenshot. So this is what I mean when I say I was quick on the trigger. Oh man, I was a little bit too quick thinking about it. Okay. Price was here forming this. Okay. And super negative numbers. And I'm expecting a follow through. And boom. Yes, it does go down. That's a fact. So you have to look at the size of the candle, the wicks, the volume. You're looking at a lot of information. But that's how you get good. Just studying it. And that's what I've been doing for 2-3 months now. But you look at this candle, you say it goes from minus 570 to 260. Love it. Now, what do I see here that I like? Trapped sellers. They even create an imbalance. And I have zeros at the bottom. Love it. Okay? I love the fact that we don't have a negative delta. It's a positive delta. So I love that candle. Okay? So let's continue here. And this is how it looked. When I entered, look at that. I really got fucked. I got fucked so bad. Then I saw this candle, but I saw super positive numbers. But you have to ask yourself a question. I saw it went from minus 251 to 917. I was like, I love it. I love that candle. But there was a problem. You see those positive numbers, but it barely didn't go anywhere. So it means, yes, there were passive buyers, but also passive sellers who did a lot of absorption here. Okay? You even have a delta outlier here, 538. So this is super interesting to study. But if you look here, yes, you have to put everything into context, and that's why it's a little bit difficult and complicated. But this candle did not go anywhere. Like, I would have liked to see those numbers, but like pushing through. But then this is when I entered. I saw that candle here. This one, when I entered, it was green. I'm like, I'm entering right now. That's when I say I was maybe a little bit too quick on the trigger. But this is what I think is quite hard about being a beginner in trading. Because you have so little experience, it's very difficult to tell when you're having a good win and a bad win. This trade turned out to be a winner, but it was a bad habit. And now a loss, trying to figure out when you have very little experience, was this a good loss or a bad loss? Here, I'm like a little bit mitigated. It was 50-50, I would say. It was not the best loss, but it wasn't the worst loss where I said, this trade was stupid. I entered for no reason. I really saw what I wanted. I was just maybe a little bit too quick, but sometimes I get late because I wasn't quick enough. So that's why I say discretion, all of that stuff. This is what makes trading difficult. And let's not get even started with people who don't even trade freaking order flow. Okay, so let's get here. I got super unlucky. There are a lot of times a lot of imbalance above where you're trying to take a reversal. Anyway, that candle shoot up and just aggressive sellers just freaking jumped on the trade and it went like broop, and then it just crashed like this in a minute. And boom, I hit stop loss the candle after. I was like, oh fuck. But I was like, it was my setup. Maybe I was a little bit too quick. Maybe the lesson I have to learn here is just wait for another. But then if I would have waited for a second candle to close, if I have to put my stop loss under, let's say here I would have waited for my setup. Let's say this candle would have been the one following. If I would have been waiting for this candle to close, I enter here. Bro, look at how huge my stop loss is. And then my risk to reward ratio. So this is what's, again, difficult about trading. It's yes but no, no but yes. A lot of discretion. It sucks. Okay? Anyway, if it fails, it fails. This is my setup. This is what I said. Okay, damn, that was a quick stop loss. Maybe next time wait for a better confirmation. Was too quick on the trigger. There are a lot of dilemmas in trading. Okay, so let's continue here. Yeah, and then there were two imbalances. So I said, before I take this freaking trade, I want price to go through this imbalance. Because when there's an imbalance, sometimes it reverses on you. It reverses in your face. So I got into a second trade here. But I want to tell you exactly at what time it was. I think for the other trade I got in here. So it's good that it leaves trap sellers, but sometimes when it's an imbalance, this is what I'm learning too. Price might come to fill it right next. So it's good to have trap sellers, but then if it creates an imbalance, price might come try to take it. So this is what's hard. I'm learning on YouTube. You want to have trap sellers at the bottom when you're looking for a long, but then if it's too big, you get taken out. And this is what they don't show in a freaking YouTube video. So it's always somehow complicated. Anyway, this candle I liked because there was a big wick to the upside. I liked it, filled the imbalance. And then this wick, I was really looking for really getting on my buy. So I see this, like it, going from minus 304 to 492. I like it. And then this one, follow through. Big green candle, goes up. I like it. But then I'm looking for freaking... I wanted to go through the fucking imbalance here. I wanted to go through the imbalance. Yeah, so this is where I entered. I remember. And then boom, again, no follow through. No follow through. This candle just super negative. But I want to see follow through again. I want to see follow through. Are the sellers gonna have follow through? Boom, they're not. So I'm like, okay. Maybe this is my chance. I get in here. I think this is really where I entered. 949, 950. I like those numbers. I enter here. And then price goes a little bit in profit. And then I said, fuck. This, I hadn't seen it. I said massive imbalance there again. Look at those numbers. So looking back on it, maybe I should have been careful with that imbalance. I should have known, man, those are massive digits. Look, you see those digits very small. And price did come to fill it. Look at those. It's very difficult to tell which one is going to overthrow who. If there was a way to know that, and I'm trying to combine bookmap and everything, like everybody would be millionaires. Trading would be much easier, but that's why you need to put everything in context. Anyway, this freaking imbalance here, just price trying to punch through. And here I remember it was a green candle that was pushing through, and then boom, came down. And then I was still in the trade because I like that candle. You see, going from minus 294. Obviously, the buyers are losing steam, but the buyers are still absorbing it here. They're still absorbing it here and shoots up, but leaves a big wake. But trap buyers, whatever. And then just it comes, it it comes again and it fucks it around in my drawdown zone here. That was annoying. And then it finally takes me out. How long after? So I got in at 9:50. It took me out at, yeah, it was literally 15 minutes of stress. Just here, it was ugly. I was like, maybe there's a chance. Maybe there's a chance. Even when it was here, I was like, it's really when I saw that candle, I was like, man, there's no way. Then it crashed. But I was right. Buyers did react here. They did fill some orders here. But yeah. Anyway, let's continue here. So 2 losses. I was an hour into my session. Yeah, I remember, saying insane price action. To be honest, it's a real tug of war. If you don't know what a tug of war is, tug. Like, this is a freaking tug of war. The buyers and the sellers pushing each other. Who's gonna win? Who's gonna win? It was really like this. When you see no freaking follow through, candle after candle, they're pushing, and then the other side is pushing, right? Well, let's continue here. Another loss. I said a third loss and I'm done. Okay. I said if we fell here, we are bearish for the day. And I was actually right. This was like my line in the sand. And I said, if this level doesn't hold, we're bearish. And I have to abandon my bullish bias. So it's important to have levels where you say, I'm bullish until that point, I'm bearish until that point, and if we fail either one of those levels, I'm changing my directional bias. I mean, we are bullish up until that point, we're bearish up until that point, and so on. So that is very important in trading. Okay, I said I'm quite confused now. This was my setup. I took it. This is why trading is difficult at the beginning. So this is a small rant I just want to get into for maybe 5 minutes. This is something nobody really talks about, but this is something that is perhaps the most difficult when it comes to trading. It's not psychology. It's really finding a strategy. It's finding an edge, finding either indicators or setups or tools that work. Because there's so much bullshit out there just of things that flat out does not work. So you don't really have setups, you don't really have playbooks, you don't have experience. You try stuff, it fails a lot, you get burned. And now you're starting, like me, you're at a period where you're finding, like in my case, order flow tools that seem to work, and you try to put them together, and now boom, you have a setup, and you try to take it with confidence, but you're accumulating data and you're putting it into TradeZilla, and the stats are not so good, but you try to take it with confidence, okay? And then it fails. So already you don't have a ton of confidence into your playbook because you're like trying it. You don't have the data yet. You're accumulating the data like in the fucking moment, okay? And it's not like a trader who has been trading for many, many years, has a really big data sample with the stats about his strategy. He knows it works. When you're a beginner, you don't have that level of confidence. You have very little confidence, as a matter of fact. How can you trust it? And now, how can I trust if, like, freaking previous day point of control failed? Now, I kind of knew from a course I bought from Kami Capital, you shouldn't really be taking trades from there. Anyway, from the point of control, because there's a lot of slash, a lot of whipsaw. But now I was like, how can I trust that it will buy from previous day value area low? So I said, I believe my second buy was legit, but now I see this imbalance was way too crazy. I should have waited for price to get through it, but then I cannot put my stop loss here. And if I put it here, there's nothing stopping me from getting stopped out, So tricky, very tricky. Okay. Man, and at previous day value area low, it started giving a reaction. They did like this 3 nice, like super nice candles. I'm like, don't tell me it's buying. And then it fell. Boom. Super crazy candle here. Okay, let's continue here. I said, that's enough. Too much bullshit. And look at how ugly it was. This is what you call market efficiency. Really going between the two VWAP deviations, like clean, clean, clean. But again, you cannot really take trades here because you need a confirmation on the prints. Otherwise, it just comes through sometimes. Here comes through. Okay. Anyway, clean trades. Excuse me, not clean trades, but like just playing games. And then let's continue. Yeah, Fabio Valentini, he trades with the big trading indicator, and he uses them as reference point, and he says they have like those big traders, they have a vested interest to defend their price, so they want to push it. So he's trading in a different way, and I really, really need to be trading that way. So got to be perspicacious, right? You absolutely have to be perspicacious and notice things. Yeah, isn't this shit playing games? Absolutely. Doing it starts. I said, don't tell me it's fucking buying from there, whatever. No way I would have bought from there. 2 times it gave buy signals. So when was that? Yeah. Man, I started buying from a random place. It took out previous day value area low. Boom. And this could have been some sort of a buy, I would say. But I don't know, man. Because I had switched my bias here. But price somehow needed to give a reversal, right? Anyway, I'm getting a little bit tired here of talking. But let's just have a look here. Study that point of reversal. 1021. It's going to be interesting. I mean, look at that humongous. You see the volume here? 2,000, 2,000, 2,000. Boom. Boom. Freaking 8,200. Crashes. The number's almost the same. No buyers in here. And then what happens? Boom, no follow through. Comes at the VWAP. There was an imbalance here, but no imbalance on the 5 minute. And I like it to have one on the 5 minute. You see here, just no imbalance. There were no imbalances here on the 5 minute. Anyway, comes here. Imbalances are powerful. Anyway, comes at the 90% VWAP again, but this time it buys for real. Let's have a look at it. Goes from 306 minus 306 to 23. I like it, but it's the final delta is between the two numbers, so still we're still not sure. And then it goes from minus 23, so it tells you no freaking sellers in there, to 684. Boom, shoots up. Could have gotten in here, and eventually it went much higher. Anyway, could have gotten in here. 81.25. Put your stop loss under. What do you target? What could you have targeted, to be honest? There was this big level on Bookmap. It's this very small risk to reward, right? So I wouldn't even put my stop loss under here. Tricky. Very tricky. Anyway. Because now I had to switch my bias to bearish. What do you target? It's tricky. And then it played games, man. Played games from 10:50 to 11:30. 40 minutes of doing nothing. Just playing between VWAP and 2 levels on Bookmap. Okay? Now let's continue. Price just dropped from here, but even here, how would I have gotten? Because Bookmap liquidity levels, they're good for targets, but they're not good for entries. And here it was an entry. So that sucks. It's always yes but no, no but yes, yes but no. It's always somehow complicated. Okay, here it was an entry, but how do you know, are those levels going to be strong enough to push price down, or is it going to get completely broken through? So on Bookmap, you could have maybe looked, but still, I'm not the best at reading it. I have to get it. I don't wish it was easier. I wish I was better. It drops. Complete meltdown. Complete. Now here I could have had a buy. I think this was cleaner. Let's just have a look here at what time it was. 12:20. Let's have a look. I'd like to finish this video in 10 minutes maximum. 12:20. Super negative numbers. Came into our imbalance on the 5 minute. I like that. You see, my levels are somehow legit. This is on Bookmap, boom, give a reaction. Anyway, comes into my imbalance here, gives a reaction. But remember, it's not going to go to the moon just because it was an imbalance. It's going to be either a reaction point or a pullback into our downtrend with lower lows and lower highs. But let's have a look here. Super negative candle. I like it. Okay, now I'm looking for buyers to show up, so I don't want to see a follow through of that candle. And boom, here it goes from minus 267 to 105. Okay, I like it, but big wick here. I'm not too sure. And now you see this one. Again, not the best. Not the best. I'm not going to lie, not the best, okay? 388, 398 to 37. Super green, though. Almost no wick. Okay, you look at this one. Boom. Large wick to the downside. I like it. I like those numbers. I would have entered during that candle, to be honest. Okay, somewhere during when that candle was being formed. So let's say 68.61. Yeah, exactly. Target this would have been a nice almost 3R. Okay, this is what gave a massive buy. But at what time? This is what pisses me off. Well after the PM session. Can you imagine? So when all the market players are there, it's going nowhere, it's consolidating, it's just playing freaking games. And when it's freaking the PM hour and volatility dies down, that's when it shoots up like crazy. Look at that. Oh, this was so annoying. Here I am spending like 3 hours, and when it's playing games like here, just on my phone on freaking Pinterest, just looking at freaking paintings I want to put in my dream castle. I need to find something to avoid boredom and just either lift weights or freaking do something productive, continue learning my languages, anything, but find something. Anyway, here, let's have a look at 120, took out previous daily low. You're looking for a reversal around the 90% VWAP, but ain't got imbalances. That's all you have. That's all you have, okay? Let's have a look here. When was it? Freaking 121. 121. Okay. I don't know if I would have got tricked here. Boom, boom, boom. Wait for a second. Does not happen, does not happen, does not happen. Let's have a look here. Super negative candle. I like it. Big wick here. Okay, boom. I want to see follow through. Otherwise, if I don't see it, it's a hint for me. I might want to get in. Okay, it goes from minus 103 to 477. I like it. Boom. I want to see follow through though. Boom. Not seeing it. You wait. You don't pull the trigger just yet. And now here, I love it. Love that candle, but didn't really go anywhere. Boom, pushes. This is where you could have gotten in. And eventually came all the way back here. So this would have been scary. You're all of this in profit. And then boom, it just, after taking that freaking high, you're like, oh man, maybe I should have closed it. Anyway, it comes all the way here to take out that, it comes here to take that low here. This was exactly how I was trading ICT, as a matter of fact. This, I was looking for a low that took liquidity right to the left and then left an inducement. and then broke structure, and then this was basically my entry. So here you could say that it is supposed break of structure, left an inducement, you get in here, stop loss here. Okay, but I would have gotten in a different way here. And this target what? I don't even know, man. Target this. This is a picture perfect ICT SMC trade that worked. That's crazy. Anyway, yeah, so I would have gotten in here. So let's put it 47, round number. 47. Okay. Man, it's when I'm not freaking chart. I'm missing a freaking 15R, and then this trade we're going to break down. Oh my God. It's frustrating, but it's a lot more frustrating when you're completely wrong and you don't understand what the hell is going on. That's more frustrating, but it's a level of frustration, of course, when you see trades you would have taken if you had been on the chart, but just did not happen. It is what it is. Sucks. Anyway, now I just want to wrap up this video by going here and just having a look at 820 on the prints. So for a reminder, we came into an imbalance that was from yesterday, a super legit one. Okay. 820. Boom, this one. Okay. You see it, 820 here. There was a big imbalance here on the 5-minute. This happened, like I said, at 8:15 to 8:19. We're going to come here and look. This is what I'm saying, bro. Like, your reversals are not going to happen on the 1 minute. Like, let me draw something here for you. They're not going to happen like this. They happen like this on the freaking chart patterns they draw on Google Image. If you're a real trader, don't wish it was easier, wish you were better. Okay? Simple as that. Get used to becoming good at here. Get used to consolidations. And after 2 weeks, a month, you're going to be like, I know what to expect. I know what to look for. I'm ready to pull the trigger when I see my criterias. So let's have a look here. Super positive candles. Boom, but then the volume is really slowing down. So you're telling yourself, man, something is happening. Passive sellers are really entering here, blocking it. And then boom, okay, it might be our first sign, but still positive delta. We're not too sure. And then boom here, positive numbers. I don't like it, even though it went. So how come it went down with a positive number? That's where it's tricky. It's always somehow tricky. You got to get used to it. Okay? And then boom here, goes up, goes up, goes up. You're like, not too sure. Goes from minus 52 to 0. You're like, man, it's not still going down. It's not still going down. Okay, boom, you see here from minus 29 to 68. It's slowing down. Boom, okay, we might be ready to go down. Boom, you see this one. You're like, finally. Wow, finally. So maybe you could have entered during this candle, but no follow through. And then this one is going down, but then you have this one. Maybe you could have entered during this one, to be honest, while seeing those numbers appearing here. Okay? But then again, just freaking tricky again. It's as if a reversal, there's a lot of shit going on. It's not as if people are getting absorbed and then when they run out, it's over. It's as if like there's just a buyer, there's just a participant that decides to show up. Boom. We're getting it right now. That's how I see it. And you even see the volume increasing, as a matter of fact. Okay, and this one really slows down, very little volume. And boom, you could have entered here, okay? Stop loss here. So where could you have entered? Seeing those numbers, 69.14, 69.14. Whoa, it's here, man. 69.14. Let's go. Oops. Stop loss here. What do you target now? What do you target? I mean, there are people who just enter with a chalk. So this is the one, the low, but this low didn't break anything. That's a little bit tricky. Where's the low that created the last? People, that's not even a real chalk because this low did not do anything. Anyway, what do you target this? London's low maybe. 5R. Anyway, this trade would have been insane. Fucking 15R. Crazy. So man, what I'm on the charts, but before I got on the charts and after I got off the charts, freaking 15R sucks. Sucks. It's part of trading, it's part of the game. Okay? It is what it is. Wow, crazy. Anyway, one day I'm gonna get my lucky day. It's not about getting a lucky day anyway. It's about freaking showing up, doing your fucking homework, putting in the fucking work. And eventually, your eyes get trained, your eyes get used to it. You become more knowledgeable. You acquire more knowledge. You become more skilled. You get better. And I don't care if it takes another 2 months or 3 months. I'm going to be that fucking guy who's going to be passing challenges left and right. I got the guy who showed me Footprint, he's got 20 Apex accounts, 50K ones. Bro, that's going to be me. Easy, that's going to be me. I guarantee you. 20 Apex account. I'm going to get 5 with Top Step, 5 with my Forex funds. No, what am I saying? My Forex funds. That's an old profit that got shut down a long time ago. Traders who've been in the game for 2-3 years will know about it. No, I'm talking about my funded futures. My funded futures, right? So guys, tough. I wouldn't say tough day. Did follow my game plan. Okay, let's just do my post-market analysis here. 2 stop loss. How did it go? This is what I hate. It changes the freaking font. It changes the size. It bothers me. 2 stop loss. A good 6. Was I right about my pre-market directional bias? No, I was wrong. I learned my mistake. So basically, I expected my higher low to be in place, but for it to be in place, you need like somehow a change of character. I don't know. I really thought it was in place. I was wrong. My bad. Okay, it looks like if you're looking at freaking chart patterns on fucking Google image, it looks like it's in place, but no, it comes lower. It did come lower. You see? It came lower. Ouch. So I was wrong. I admit it. Okay, what lesson can I take out of this session? Be on the charts before 8 a.m. Do something productive when it's consolidating. Don't pull the trigger too fast. Also, I learned what did you learn, Mr. Matt Corvo? I learned look at how many digits are inside the imbalance. So this would have saved me my first loss, my second loss. I would have gotten a big trade here. And because I was just fucking around on my cell phone, I would not have hated myself so bad. Didn't force any trades. That's good. I did all of that. Yeah. So yeah. If every freaking session you're learning a thing or 2 or 3, man, after freaking 50 sessions, you're becoming the fucking man. You're becoming the man. I really, sometimes I do find it very hard, but what do I need to be extremely successful in this and make millions of dollars? Do I need to climb freaking Mount Everest? No. Do I need to go fucking risk my life in a trench in Ukraine, like as a fucking mercenary or whatever, like defend my country and sit in the fucking ditch and wait to get fucking killed by waves of Russian soldiers or like a bomb? What I need to do is just be on my fucking ass on a super comfortable secret lab chair and just freaking open my laptop and wait and click. So it's hard, it's technically hard, but I'm intelligent enough. But, bro, there are things much more difficult. Much more difficult. So I really need to put things into perspective. I know it's hard, it sucks, but it is what it is. You know, I don't wish it was easier, I wish I was better. Alright guys, we're gonna wrap it up here. But I'm gonna look back on this video in a couple months, a couple years, and I'm gonna say, wow, Matt, you were already the fucking man here. You were already the fucking man here before you were the man in the physical world. Like when it was showing into your real fucking bank account with the prop firm deposits, payouts. All right, guys, I'm bouncing. It's over. It was nice talking to you guys. Cheers.